Hello, my name is Lauren and today I have a double sketchbook tour video for you. It has been a while, a lot of stuff has happened, I apologise, but also that's just life. So working in these two sketchbooks basically simultaneously, they took a long time to complete because I was doing other things. So we'll start with this one, and as always we start in the back. Well, I start a sketchbook in the back. So at this point in time, I was still back in Australia. If you follow along with my sketchbooks, you know I hop between Australia and Scotland pretty much. Yeah, so this was a trip to Bobbin Head, which is a nature reserve in Sydney. Some of the things that we saw with my parents. This is a walk that I did with my best friend, a coastal walk, and these are the New Holland honey eaters that were so perfect for like sitting in very like posy places, so you could see them quite well, which was quite cool. Big fan of birds, if you don't know. This is probably my last weekend in Sydney. We went for a walk around the harbour, kind of in one of the nature reserves. It's surprising how much green space there is in Sydney. Sorry, don't cover up your mic. This is a kookaburra that would sit on my parents' balcony ledge and beg for food, basically. So you get a very good up-close look at them. This is probably my last day before my flight. We went to the beach. It was a beautiful day with my family. It was nice to spend some time with them before I was going away, because I knew that I would be gone for a while. And here's my plane ticket. Here we are, and we're back in Scotland, thank goodness. Obviously I did get on that plane, and my partner took me to Mull. So we went camping for a week, basically, on Mull. And it was lovely. It rained the whole time because it was only September. So you can see it's quite grey. I actually got rained on while painting this one. You can kind of see the raindrops in there. And this was a dog that was on the ferry. But it was a great trip, even though the tent almost blew away pretty much every night. And this is Tobermory. I mean, there's more than 3 houses there, but these are the ones that are painted nicely, so I painted those. And then this is a waterfall that we saw on one of our lovely walks. It was a really great trip. It wasn't raining when we did that walk, so that was nice. Here we are back in Edinburgh, and I've been reading the story of the White Hart, which has got to do with the founding of Edinburgh, allegedly, legend. Yeah, so basically a white stag. Here we went for a little day trip to North Berwick, which is the beach basically. And then we watched the football game in a pub, and these are 2 men that we saw. It was Liverpool, and Liverpool won, which is good because that's my partner's team. These are some experiments I was doing with palette knives and acrylic. I don't really like these 2. I do like how this one turned out. I'll put a clip of what I've got on my wall, which are the ones that turned out quite well that I did on like canvas paper. Just a quick clip of kind of the paintings I was doing with the palette knife. Just a fun kind of experiment. This one's one of my favourites. I like the colours. Yeah, it was nice to do something quite loose and freeing, because at art school I was doing, I can get him, where is he? This is what we were doing at art school, so really detailed precision drawing. So it was nice to come home at the end of the day and do these, which I like, which was fun, just experimenting something different to what I normally do. I think I was getting a bit stuck. I was definitely doing art school at the time as well. Yeah, these are some flowers that my partner bought me for my birthday. They were beautiful. I really appreciate it when they buys me flowers. And I was just waiting for him to finish work, and I did a quick painting of the castle from the grass market. They're supposed to be the same landscape, obviously they look a bit different, but they're with different underpaintings. So a yellow underpainting, a red underpainting, and a blue underpainting. At the time the red was my favourite. To be honest, I kind of like all of them, especially the yellow. Yeah. This was another little day trip that we went up to Dollar. And we had a walk through Dollar Glen and a nice lunch, and there's a castle there. It was beautiful. It was quite autumny colours. Was it autumn? Yeah, it was autumn. kind of a sunset from our flat view. And then this is Camo Estate and a tree that had fallen down there. I really like this little landscape actually. These two are of Portobello Beach. Obviously we got there, it's quite grey, and then there was a sunset, which is always nice. This one's really cool. This is a skeleton, obviously. But they were doing tram works in Leith, near where I was going to school, and they were digging up the road to put the tram tracks down, but the road was going next to a graveyard, and when they dug up the road, they found all of these skeletons, obviously, from the graveyard. So the graveyard must have extended into the road one time, and they've put the road over the top. So there was lots of, like, an archaeological dig happening. So every time you would go past, there was a different skeleton on show, which is kind of creepy, but also quite cool. And I mean, they've been gone a long time, and they were buried nicely in a nice place. So I hope they're okay. This one is really special to me. This painting here is where my partner proposed to me, and that's my ring. I was quite concerned about doing this painting because obviously, like, sentimentally, it means a lot to me because, you know, something rather important happened there. But it's a very busy location. There's lots of trees and a waterfall and lots of rocks, but I think I captured it quite well, and I'm very happy with this painting. And we're going with a red, pinky kind of underpainting, which I really enjoy, especially for these sort of like autumn paintings, basically. This is a view from the hotel that we stayed in. We had a weekend away. This is a walk that we did on that trip. And you'll see in this sketchbook there's lots of these like fairy wrens, because I was illustrating the wedding invitations for my best friend. Ooh, that sun is creeping into my shot, but that's okay. These are the Canada geese on the water of Leith. Woodpecker that is in our backyard. These are from a walk that we did in the Pentlands. I saw two swans doing this, which I thought was really cool, like all fluffed up and making a little heart together, which I had never actually seen. I've seen it in photos and drawings and things, but never actually seen it for myself. It's really cool. Some more fairy wrens. I'm quite happy with this pair. I hope she picks one of these for her invitation. I like this one. Just looking about. This is the Scott Monument, which is on Princess Street here in Edinburgh. Some more fairy wrens. This one is an interesting one because this has kind of kick-started the project that I'm working on now. And if you see my next sketchbook tour, which I'll be filming today also, there's lots of that kind of stuff in there. It's basically illustrating the story of the Wolver, which is from Orkney or Shetland, I'm not sure. But it's a man's body with a wolf's head, but instead of being like a werewolf, he's kind of like a kindly, quiet creature that keeps to himself but helps out people if they need it, which I just thought was really lovely. And back to that, the project that I'm working on, I just realised I didn't say, is kind of like a illustrated Scottish fairy tales. Yeah, but kind of all started when I heard that story. This one is a painting of my partner. Well, a caricature of my partner. I say that he has a mustache, which I really like. But when he doesn't shave the rest of his face, it's really spiky. And I say that he's like a cactus. This is a goosander. And my partner's nephew's birthday was coming up, so I did a card for him. This is my practice run. He was 3. Reindeer. Ooh. A little robin. Some more fairy wrens. Some more fairy wrens. I like this one too. It's funny, the females are kind of the more boring ones, but I actually enjoy them the most. I think they just kind of look cuter. These are all copies from some Cecil Mary Baker fairies. She does the flower fairies, which you've probably seen, which are just really lovely illustrations. So I'm trying to figure out how she gets them to look so cute. This little fairy wren is probably my favourite one, and I think I'll be making this my YouTube logo thing until I do something else that I like. because the face that I've got at the moment is kind of awful, and I did that years and years ago. These two are my best friend's favourite of the fairy wrens, and I've given them kind of a array of flowers digitally for her wedding invitation. Kissing hands. I was really happy with this landscape. That's another one with this one's more of a really pink magenta background, or underpainting rather, which is really nice. Not so happy with this one. Again, has the pink underpainting, but doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a good painting. But this flower was quite good. You can see lots of me trying to figure out how I'm going to do these flowers for her invitations, and that's the one we went with. Landscapes. And then it wouldn't be one of my sketchbook tours if there wasn't an osprey in it somewhere, and that is the very last page. So this one was August 2020 to April 2021, so that's a long time. Even for me, but I was walking in two at the same time and going to art school, so that's my excuse. Starting in the back, this one, they're both handmade by me. This one was like toned craft paper, and this is just the cover of the pad that I used, but to be honest, this paper was awful. It didn't like paint, it didn't like pencil, it would all just rub off, so I just wanted to get through it as quick as possible. It's a botanical of some Geraldine waxes. We've gone back in time, back to being in Sydney, and this is when I was apart from my partner. So two hands holding hands, but one's not there. I was clearly in a mood that day, missing him. And there's... This is a drawing I did of my partner. This one's taken from a Zoom call. Is that sun going to be too bright? Hopefully not. Yeah, I quite like him. That's why he's in a dressing gown, because we'd always talk. One of us would be in bed when we talked because of the time difference between Scotland and Australia. This one's snowy mountains in Australia. Or the Blue Mountains rather, with a little bit of snow on them, which is unusual for Australia. This is more of those smeary palette knife paintings. I do like the face on this mama bear though. This is the same colour palette and same reference picture as that other one, but obviously I've got a lot more control with the gouache doing that. And I did find that the best paper was, I think I've mentioned it before when I was looking for that one, but like a canvas paper for that kind of smeary. And I'll put a clip of the ones that I did that I liked. Some marst lorikeets, which are really lovely. When I say I was trapped in Australia, I was very fortunate to be trapped in my parents' house, and they've got a lovely house that's right in the bush, and so you've got lots of birds and wildlife, and it was okay. It was not too bad. I mean, being apart from your partner sucks, but you know, we're together now, so it's fine. This is my self-portrait. If you wonder what I look like, kind of like that. Is another painting of my partner. He posed for me, and I took a screenshot of our Zoom call, and I stuffed up the face when I did the painting, so it's just got a drawing instead. And that's him with his little mustache. He looks really cute. He went on a walk and took these pictures for me, and so I painted them. Some puffins. Didn't finish this one because I couldn't be bothered. And then here is the barber shop that I was working in, and it was really, really quiet for a period of time. Kind of, Australia had like a little mini lockdown, and then we opened back up and it was really busy because everyone was overdue for a haircut. But then after that, nobody had any reason to get a haircut because nothing was open and you couldn't do anything. So it was really quiet for a period of time, and I drew this while I was getting paid, so that's good. Technically I got paid to do this. Sketches. A lot of this stuff is just kind of throwaway experimenting. This one's quite nice. I like this one. But again, you know, just playing around, seeing what I can do. This was going well until I did the face and the ink bled in the eye, and it all just wasn't going well, so I just passed on. I like this colour scheme. I like this idea, but again, this paper could only really take one real pass with paint before it kind of crinkled. which is a shame. Forest. I don't like painting forests. I don't like painting leaves, but I'm trying to practice and get better at it. This one is a drawing I did of my partner again. This one I did while I was here, actually, back in Edinburgh with him in person. I didn't think it turned out quite great, and it's a bit smudgy. That's why I've got this piece of paper here to try and stop it smudging. I like this landscape. I think that kind of goes with the very linear kind of landscape that I was trying to go for at the time. Seagulls. I quite like this landscape with a big red underpainting that you can see poking through. It's kind of fairy types. Again, just practicing for that fairy tale project that I'd like to do. Landscapes. And that's the end. So July to April 2021. So that one took a while, quite a while. And this sticker is from Mary Sanch. She is my favourite, my absolute favourite. She's here on YouTube. If you don't know her, you should, because she's great. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed those two sketchbooks, and I'm going to get filming for my third one.